Yamana welcome Mama Biko. Happy New Day, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are. Happy Monday. It shall be well with all of us in this new week. Ihe ọbụla bụ ihe ọma ga-erute anyị aka, nke bụ nke anyị ga-eru anyị aka. Nke ọbụla ga-eri anyị abịa na biko nke anyị ga-eri ife ya abịa. Ọ ga-amara nwoke mma mara nwaanyị mma. Breaking news. Yakubu Jack Gowon in Tèařs apologized for declaring Biafran war as US, Russia, and Israel warns against Biafra invasion, that any other country, both Zoo and all their allies, warns against invasion of Biafra land. For you to know, even people or countries that will make this kind of statement, more countries, secretly, are still out there waiting for Nigeria to do anyhow. I would not like to take much of your time, but I would like you to listen to this clip. Let us watch this clip. As we come back, we discuss more. Oh yeah, let's go there. As you are watching, please kindly drop your opinion at the comment section.
We are beginning to see, for the first time, Northerners are now disowning IBB. Some people say that IBB is not a true Northerner. IBB is from Ibadan. That why would he release a book that would vindicate the Igbos? Because ever since he has released the book has gone internationally. Finland, US, Israel, everybody now have a copy of the book. And the book has now really vindicated the issue of Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa. That truly the civil war and the coup is not the fault of the Igbos. People, Arewa youth are now condemning IBB. Why do you release such a book at a particular time? If you are watching, kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel, on notifications, drop your comments, hit the like button, like, and share with others. For the first time, outside people are now condemning IBB. What do you have to say about that this morning?
The condemnation has gone viral anyway, and it has also gone to an extent that Gowon has been warned not to publish any book in that regard, because the one that IBB has published has entered where it does not supposed to enter around the world. So many world leaders are buying it, so many researchers are keying into it, so many reviewers are looking at that book very deeply. You know, of what recently, the clash between Trump and Keir Starmer of Britain,
yes.
And we saw the same thing leading to Macron and Trump clashing at the White House. The only people that seem to understand what that book actually means seems to be the Donald Trump of America and Putin of Russia. Finland also has deposited that book in their national library and also send it to the court, Finnish court, for review, and of course using it as a yardstick for trial that is going to come on the May 15. But away from that, the North has played a very attacking role on IBB. IBB is still wondering what has brought about this attack. Maybe possibly regretting I wouldn't have published this book, because that book he published has given an Igbos an edge over every national issue that has transpired since the beginning of independence till today. We are supposed to have had independence before 1915, before Ghana or thereabout, but because of certain reasons, we are not able to have it. Now, who is proudly going to come out and tell the whole world that 1966 coup was not an Igbo coup? Can they be able? The Igbos from all over the world, both those who were exported from Finland, I can tell you, who were picked by Red Cross, taken all over the world. Some of them are in Sweden, some of them in different Australia, all every part of the country. But they still know they are Igbos, and they knew what had happened. They knew how they were ferried by the Red Cross as at that time. What am I trying to say at this point? They have now laid their hand on that book and they begin to look at it, that possibly there was a strategic move by the British, the Fulani powered Gowon, to make sure that the Igbo nation is exterminated. And when I look at it very well, I'm not asking, then why single out Igbo? They single out Igbo as a result of jealousy.
Jealousy?
Yes, they were jealous. Including Awolowo. Awolowo was also jealous. They said, Gowon, do not write any other book. Gowon, they said no. The northern elders are mounting pressure on Gowon not to publish any book, because the effect of the one that IBB has published has taken an international dimension. So what the world leaders are looking at is, so this is actually what happened. And immediately, the president of the United States of America summoned the British Prime Minister in our Oval Office, summoned France to Oval Office. And on that process, they were able to disclose some certain things, and a decision was made. The only thing that Trump rejected that is that Biafra will not be an Islamic nation. And if by this thing happen, on proclamation and recognition of Biafra, all the American allies are going to endorse to that. So you can see that why the Northern Elders Forum, the Northern leaders, the Northern politicians, especially those of Emirs and Fulani extraction, is bent on warning, making sure that IBB, even to an extent, we are hearing a few days ago, there was some certain movement within his compound and a certain threat about his life over their book, and there are plans to withdraw the book from the public space. What does that mean? It means that the reaction that is coming as a result of that publication, has actually made it very clear that the Igbo has never raised an iron against Nigeria from the beginning of amalgamation of this country till date. That everything that was being thrown against the Igbo people was done out of conspiracy. And that is what we claim. Then how come Gowon, IBB, all of them are coming out to blame a certain decision? Another one is saying, no, this is the true picture of it. We don't need money anymore. The time for nationalism has passed. The era of nationalism has passed. The era that wanted integration has passed. The era of peace, fairness, and justice has been demanded that it should be done has passed. What the entire 40 territories of Biafrans and representatives all over the world, the IPOB, is saying that we are Biafrans and that the world should recognize Biafra as a separate entity. Not only that, the issue of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa was also discussed. And a certain signal was sent to the Finnish government, and I think they are already working on it, that everything is going to be open. America is coming, either for or against, but whichever way it happens, it is not going to be in favor of Nigeria. What Nigeria have done to the people of the Igbo is the highest injustice in the history of existence. Not only taking their resources and hand them over to Fulanis, they took their resources, they also raised enmity among the brotherhood.
South.
Yes!
And what does that South mean?
Because I've never heard anything about South. Go and Google South in Yiddish dictionary and see whether you see it. Just Google. Anybody that is watching this video, go and Google South. Google it, write down, Google it. Let us see what it will give you. This is the first time in the map of the whole world where I'm seeing South. And the funny enough, unless now that they are seeing the Fulani handwriting on the wall, and maybe they were able to say, okay, because if care is not taken, Fubara should stand up and defend himself. He's an Igbo man.
Fubara is an Igbo man?
Fubara is an Igbo man. He is a Biafran. Fubara Biafra. Are you not hearing it? Fubara Biafra. Are you not hearing it? And let me tell you, that judgment is not going to stand. The Ijaw nation, we Igbos, we are standing for Fubara. We are standing against this atrocity. We are standing against political conquest. We are standing against political intimidation. We are standing against any form of Islamization of our natural resources. You cannot Islamize us and also Islamize our natural resources. And at the end of the day, you use it against us. So those are the things. They have started again. Propaganda. They have started again. This is what they did. Even when court released the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they said no. Then they want us to look for another IBB to publish another book, The Fate of Igbos in Nigeria. Maybe by that time they will know whether it is true or not. IBB's book has exposed Nigeria, that Nigeria was actually defeated during the Nigeria Biafra war.
Nigeria was defeated?
Yes, that's what it means. Gowon cannot be able to muster the courage to write another book because nobody have written. Most of the thing that was written there is a known fact. But because of the Western media propaganda, it took the lives of over 6 million Igbos. And you still want us to be looking at Nigeria, even though we are under oppression and suppression. Tell me what the Igbo man has benefited from Nigeria for 60 years. Absolutely nothing. But let me warn to those who are in the South region. I don't want to say, we will do understand. All the northern elders we are at Edwin Clark's house. We did not see any of them at Adebanjo's place. Why we are there running to Edwin Clark's house? Why didn't they go to Adebanjo's house? It tells you what is happening, what is going on. Would they want another revelation? Before the South people will know that Igbos can never be their enemy. We are standing as a nation, as an Igbo people. We are strongly 24 hours, 100 hours, 1 million hours behind Sibo Fubara. As long as it's going to be man enough, if Nigeria is going to break from Rivers State, let it break. But it should not give a space to another beast. Let him turn to a beast. If he is not beast enough, beast himself! In the government house, outside the government house, in River State, outside the River State, wherever the enemies are. Because, one, Fubara was duly elected. Human believes in the Chi.
What is the Chi?
The Chi is somebody who made what man cannot make. That's what Igbo man believe. He calls his Chi every day he wakes up in the morning. That means the Igbo man does not believe that human being is God. Human being cannot be able to create air, water, fire, sky. No. Anybody who does that becomes the Chi. And that's the attribute that Igbo man has brought to his culture and tradition. And if you look at it very well, according to the British revelations at that time, it was discovered by certain colonial masters under missionary rule that the first ever democratic principle was being observed in Igbo land. I'm coming to the issue of Funta Jalon, the Fulani. And when in 1885, when this thing was being arranged, they moved back. They decided to move this Lord, very Frederick John Lord Lugard, down to this part of the world. And Frederick Lugard brought the concept of what he was able to see within East Africa, West Africa, North Africa. That experience, he mobilizes on getting to Nigeria and use Fulani agenda. Knowing that Fulani does not ask questions. The Hausa man does not ask questions. They do not question anything that they do not understand. But every other tribe, the Yorubas and the Hausas and the Igbos, they question the rationale behind every British decision as it stands, anytime, any day. And that was the basis of that. And based on that, they introduced and allowed Ottoman Dafodio Fulanis to conquer the North, the Hausas. Knowing fully well that the arrangement they have and the brief they have about Africa, West Africa, the Igbo people, has already been tendered in Berlin in 1885. That was why when it came to Nigeria issue, Frederick Lord Lugard understand very well that the only way to go is to empower the Fulanis in the north so that they be able to conquer the Igbo people and be able to take their resources. That was all. the Niger Dog was a company. Nigeria was sold to a company.
So are you saying that Nigeria is a company as a
the company bought Nigeria now with money. Maybe £50 or £200 or £300. They bought Nigeria. Niger Dog bought Nigeria as a company, not as a nation in the first place. So the interest of getting it is to profiteer the British system. And the resistance, based on where the resources is located, is in the east. And they are finding it difficult, 35 good years, to penetrate the east. So to keep them in perpetual suppression and oppression, that was why they allowed the Fulanis and the Islamization agenda started from there.
So are you saying that Nigeria now looks like an Islamic nation?
I'm giving you an insight of what I mean by the agenda that came to a point that the likes of Chukwumanzonwu them, some of these people, Awolowo them and the rest of them, saw this thing as a major threat. That this thing is going to bring a menace to a nation that has just been given birth to hand over the structure of Nigeria to the Northerners is going to cause a lot of damage. And at the end of the day, Nigeria must not be able to run as a nation of justice and fairness, possibly arrogated to an archaic system of leadership. Those who practice monarchical system, does it still work for them? If you go to Britain, the Queen is the head, it's monarch, it's kingship. King Tèařs, king this, king that. In Igbo land, there is no king. Everything is ran through democratic settings, principles, units, connections. Age grade, that's how it's been run. Consultations, go and read this all apart, you will discover it there. So it became very difficult for the British system to penetrate. They discovered that the people that actually practice democracy are the Igbos. Because in everything, the king does not take decision alone by himself. He must consult more than 20, 30, 400 age grades. And anything they agree is final. And that's what democracy is all about. So when they were coming, they said, no, we don't want you. It took them 35 years. But in the north, it wasn't like that. So they now saw that this is an avenue, and they came and they sustained it. Even after the 1996 coup, the British still sustained and making sure that these people does not rise. You can see it in the Revelation. Awolowo, Aburi, everything was done to make peace. But Gowon is saying that the British wanted it. The British supported the war because that has always been what they wanted to, because of what is there. And the Fulani, and they are using it to bring about the Fulanization agenda. Everything is coming gradually to an extent now. They are openly advocating it, even at the National Assembly. They are now telling you that Nigeria is no more a secular nation. That Nigeria is under the principles of political Islamization, Sharia law, and the rest of them. But constitutionally, Nigeria is a secular nation. Is Nigeria really a secular nation? Nigeria is not a secular nation. That is what it is after the Berlin Wall arrangement, and up to now, that agenda, of 1885 is still on to today. So when you see them shutting down schools, doing anyhow in the north, doing all manner of things to the extent that Christians have been persecuted, arrested, and jailed in the north as a sort of Ramadan, that is what the society has become. That is what the Muslim ticket is all about. That is what the Hausas, the Yorubas, the Fulanis always wanted. It's unfortunate that they have fragmented the old eastern region to their own benefit, and everybody have to pay the price. And you can see what is happening in River State. That is it. That is part of it. They will continue to make sure they have the struggle in that region and be able to begin to make sure that they have a foothold in that state. Let them go ahead. After we are hearing it, Iswat is in southwest Yoruba land. Boko Haram is in Yoruba land, and they are also advocating. With the Yorubas, are they going to reject the Sultan of Sokoto direction about Ramadan now? The Yoruba Muslims are they going to do that? They feel that they have gotten what they want in the Yoruba land, and the next target is going to be the Eastern Nigeria. There is many more reasons why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a big obstacle wherever they are, including Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is looking to that way. He is facing the reality. He is a Muslim. Everybody must not be a Muslim for crying out loud. I've not seen where Christians are dragging Muslims to go to church. I've never seen where Christians hate Muslims and dragging them to church. I've never seen. But you can always see killings of Christians in Nigeria as a result of religion. A governor shut down the entire school in a secular society. You didn't say those who want to stay during Ramadan, if you are not stay, those who want to go to school, go to school. You shut down, but even arresting schools are not having anything to do with Islam, shutting them down. That is the society we find ourselves, and that is what it has become. We must reject any plan to Islamize the entire people or to begin to manipulate. I always watch something that is developing just for a week now between Macron and Donald Trump. I'm sensing something deeper because
this is a very interesting news. Very interesting. Yakubu Gowon, there's something I want us to let us take a closer look. Look at Yakubu Gowon's village, or let's say city, and look at Ojuku's city, Nnewi, and that of Gowon. How far? It is not how far sometimes, but it is how well. Yakubu Gowon did everything he can to cross the Igbos. Now, many decades down the line, he come with a crocodile tears, probably begging for Igbo's forgiveness, probably begging the world to forgive him, because if the world can be able to act fair, if they are really fair to the Igbos, by now they're supposed to be charging Gowon and UK for war crimes against humanity. If the world is fair to the Igbos are not only fighting against the zoo or Britain. The Biafrans are fighting a war that even half of the world is against them for no reason, just because of propaganda of 1966 coup. Many countries hate the Igbos, the Biafrans, when I mean the Igbos, not because of their attitude, but they see it as a trajectory that Igbos or Biafrans are coup plotters because of single propaganda by Ibadan media, Lagos media, and BBC. So these countries now that have come out now to warn any country who is even reasoning it or having it in their mind, absorbing it of invading Biafra land, should think twice, because 1967 to 1970 is not 2025. And if they see anyhow, they will collect woto. In fact, according to Donald Trump, he said, stop looking for America's problem. I think that was a word he told to Iran when they were doing gara. That time he buy one of their top military. He said, if you do anyhow, then other people will train your children for you. So if you do anyhow, thinking of invading Biafra land, we know that they declared asymmetric warfare on the Biafrans. But on all these things, if their news house are carrying everything that is happening in Biafra land, all you'll be hearing is that Nigerian military are collecting woto. They are not only collecting woto in Sambisa. The ones in Sambisa itself, they don't even have a firearm to compare with what the ones in the southeast have. But the ones in the southeast are collecting. they are collecting even with all their firepower. Woto is the other way round. But they will not showcase it. No, the only news that we hear them to showcase is by that Babajide Otito Dijo, the idiot monster that look like Amweba, staying on a TVC news, wiping his mouth. Time and Ekpa is extorting money from us, as if his kinsmen can be able to pay any cent if there's a levy being declared by the Biafrans or by Simon Ekpa. He said he's taking money from us. From who? Is there any Yoruba man that have ever contributed $1 to the progress of an Igbo man? This is the propaganda they keep sharing every day. Not because they want to demoralize. No, not because they want to tarnish the image of Simon Ekpa. No, they are doing it just because they want to demoralize the Biafrans. I mean, the followers of Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu. That was why sometimes you see they will using an international. What I mean international, a radio station that the world are watching. They will use it to pull one nonsense propaganda and lie, just to indict that person before the international community and also to demoralize the spirit of the followers. It is too bad. I repeat, it is too bad. But anyway, let me not take much of our time. Here are the comments from our brothers. This is a great news. And at the end, Gowon, we really shed tears over how he massacred 3.5 to 5 million Biafrans in that genocidal war against the people of the southeast. Sakpa Ada said Gowon simply obeyed the last order of the head of state, which is Murtala Mohammed. Lawrence said Fubara was born with destiny throughout my stay with him at Ikote Abasi. He continued to tell me of his Igbo lineage. By 2007, he was the secretary of Opobo Youths. Then he had a very small restaurant near Jakasin Hotel where I did sleep. God will guide and protect my friend Fubara from the current prophet from Umu Ezumezu. Daily Osa said the United Nations Declaration on the rights of indigenous people are non-negotiable. Why they said Ibrahim Babangida's biological father is from Ogomosho in Oyo State of Nigeria. Sapa Ibrahim Badamosi Babangida is not a Fulani man. Emmanuel Ibrahim Badamosi Babangida, a Fulani man, has vindicated us, the Igbos. That is final. Yorubas and Northerners massacred Aguiyi, an Igbo man, and hundreds and thousands of Igbos and Igbo army officers in Yoruba land and northern Nigeria. But now Nigeria has fallen just like a chameleon that has been held in bondage by Paul Biya for 50 years. Cameroon, not chameleon. Cameroon. Evildoers will not last forever. Anyway, my good people of Biafra, now here we will take back break you and I go hear our voice again when we come back. Please, as you're watching this video, make sure you are dropping your comment at the comment section. Drop your opinion. Say what you think about this video. What is your own contribution towards this movement? Because this our movement have become Oke Chinyaka, Ngule Chinyaka. Okeke will put hand, Okafor will put hand. Okonko and Okorie will not be left behind so that we achieve our aim. The struggle is not being led for one certain or one group of people. No. The struggle of the independence of Biafra is for everybody who truly believe that Biafra deserves to have their freedom. But this system of that is what kept us where we are today, both in the terms of zoo politics and in the terms of our struggle for the independence, or rather our struggle for the emancipation of the people of the Southeast. Well, I have nothing more to say but to tell you that we must get Biafra, whether the devil like it or not. Have a nice day, and may the good Lord continue to bless us all. Que Messiano, my people.